Blue 58, go! Green 18. Green 19, touch!
This is the Green and Gold postgame show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
That was awful. That was awful. That was an awful football game. Packers lose 27-17 again. Can't get past the 20-point mark. They fall to the Titans, and that first half was absolutely positively embarrassing. Terrible first half. Terrible. Coaching staff, Joe Barry, soft defense. You're playing soft zone, and Ryan Tannehill, up until Rasul Douglas's pick, Ryan Tannehill was eating you. He had a 140-plus quarterback rating. 140-plus quarterback rating. Man, what a pathetic game. Just awful. For the momentum they had coming out of the Cowboys game, to do that, coaching-wise, Matt LaFleur, I want to go back to the first half. And look, I know some of you got offended when I say the boos were raining down at halftime and let them fly because Matt LaFleur and the coaching staff stunk. I don't care. People pay hard-earned money to go see their team. They're fans. They're passionate about it. You don't mind when they cheer. That's great. Cheer for my team. I'm never going to not cheer for my team. But when they stink, you get mad at people that boo? Stop it. Stop. That's candy-ass participation trophy garbage. Stop it. What they did today after the long 10-minute drive that Tennessee had, and finally, on that soft-ass defense that Joe Barry was playing, finally, they get the stop on fourth down. Whew, get a breather. The offense comes in with Dillon. Now it's time to run A.J. Dillon out there with Dillon. Why? Your best player, for the most part, is Aaron Jones. And by the way, A.J. Dillon at that point in time had 3 carries for 2 yards. 3 carries for 2 yards. And that's your best offense. Hand it to A.J. Dillon. Good God. Go 3 and out, and there you go. Put your defense. It just ended up just a 10-minute drive. The entire second quarter, you give them about a 1-minute, 15-second breather. Oh, gee, thanks, Matt LaFleur. Thanks, Joe Barry. Dumb. This one, yeah, you know what? Rodgers had passes that he missed. He missed the one to Sammy Watkins, and you can debate whether or not Watkins pulled up on it or not and should have had it. But Rodgers obviously throwing to a spot. Watkins wasn't there, whatever. He missed a Lazard a couple of times. I get it. So you can throw Rodgers into the mix. But the offensive line got handled again up front. They got handled again. And Matt LaFleur, his clock management and play calling, he just at times has this massive brain fart. And you're like, has the hair gel sunken actually in past the cranius into the brain? Man. It just, you're passionate as a fan. You get a momentum game. You beat the Cowboys, something that nobody thought you could do. Rasul Douglas is talking about, we can win this thing. We feel like we're going to win. And you come out with that. Joe Barry, instead of being aggressive, playing man, getting in their face, he did a great job. That defensive front was working their ass off. Derrick Henry was grinding on them, but they're only giving up 2.8 yards per carry. He's not killing them. And then on 3rd and long, you keep backing off. You keep playing soft zone coverage, which hasn't worked all season. Joe Barry is the biggest defensive dumbass ever to stroll the sidelines in the history of football. God, I cannot fathom mathematics. Look, I'm not a smart person when it comes to math. I never have been. I struggled. My freshman year, I had to take it twice. But I know one thing. If you need 4 yards for a first down and you're giving them 10 yards, the first down after 4 yards will be a first down and it'll extend a drive. I don't know if Joe Barry is using like an abacus. I don't know if the batteries burn out a while back in his calculator. I don't know. I don't know what to say. But I don't get it. I don't get it. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Hit us up. Hit us up. That poor defense was on that field for 10-plus minutes. 10-plus minutes. They get the stop. They muster up one. Just give me one. Just give me one. And they muster up, and you get the stop on fourth down. And Matt LaFleur decides to run, who is not running the ball really worth a damn this season. Just because you're deep in your own territory, you pull one of your best weapons off the field. It's not like he needed a break, right? It's not like he needed a breather because he's been sitting there for the last 10 and 11 minutes. You pull Aaron Jones off the field. You run A.J. Dillon a couple times. He 3 carries, 2 yards, and a poor pass, and you go a minute, 15 seconds. That's all you gave to your defense and put them right back on the field and said, oh, go get them again. Oh, by the way, and then you're looking up there, you're going, hey, Joe Barry, play that soft coverage again. Give him another 3 or 4 downs. Oh, my God. Just horrible. Tennessee, 7 of 13 on third down conversions today. The Packers, which not as good in the second half, but nevertheless, they ran up and down the field in the first half. Packers 7 of 14. Packers garner a whopping 271 yards. The worst total yards via offense in football today that averaged 271 yards per game put up 408 total yards. Ryan Tannehill threw for 333 yards. Ryan Tannehill, 22 of 27. 22 of 27, 127.3 quarterback rating. My God, Joe Barry should not even be allowed to go into the locker room. 22 of 27. Did you see the spray chart that I put up in the first half of the game of Ryan Tannehill's passes? Did you see that? The spray chart was one downfield pass. Everything else was less than 7 yards. Everything. And you got these guys playing 10 yards back. Oh, my God. The game plan was, let's run Derrick Henry. They're going to stuff the run, and they play way back. We'll just continually throw it underneath the zone coverage into the soft areas of the zone, and we'll just keep moving the ball. We'll take what that defense is giving them, right? Take what that defense is giving them. And you know what Joe Barry did? Kept saying, here you go. Here, take it. Take this. Take the first down. Take this first down. Here, I'm Joe Barry. I'm giving away first downs today. Go ahead and take it. God. Just pathetic. A pathetic night tonight by the coaching staff of the Green Bay Packers. Let's go to the phone calls. Let's go to Mike listening to us in Rockford. Mike, welcome to the program, man. How you doing?
No, Bill, I wish I called you a couple times during the week and I said if they don't win this game, they're done. Now I know basically if they were to surprise us and win next Sunday against the Eagles, then maybe, then we go, well, wait a second here, but they can't, the defense Joe Barry's got to go. He's got to go. I last year it was in special teams. They fired a special teams coordinator, fixed the special teams. Now they got to get rid of this guy and fix the defense. They got too much talent on this defense to play this way. They do.
Unacceptable. You're right. You're 100% right.
And you know something, Bill? Every year it's something else. They have this team. They have the players. If it's not the players, it's the coaching. And they just can't get it straight. And the window's closing with Rodgers. I don't think they're going anywhere this year. And, he's going to probably play one more year. And then it's who's our next quarterback, and I hate to talk like that, but this is reality. And I can't, they still have some teams coming up on the schedule. That's going to be some tough teams to play. Yeah. They've got to play at Miami. They got to play at Philly. They got to play the Vikings. Mm-hmm. And those could be 3 potential losses.
I had said that's why I said this was a must-win game. This to me was the Dagger game. This was it. This was a team you needed to beat. You had a legitimate shot at beating. All you had to do was just slow them down and then complete drives. And the play calling in the second half was better. Some of the misses by Aaron Rodgers were untimely and they were horrific and they hurt. But that play calling in the second quarter of this game, when they turned the ball right back over and basically points right back over to the Tennessee Titans, was pathetic, and that's on Matt LaFleur. That's why they got booed off the field at halftime.
Absolutely, and Matt LaFleur has a lot to blame for this too. And if he's going to ride the coattails of Aaron Rodgers, He's not going to get the same ride that McCarthy had all those years with Favre and Rodgers, but this is going to be a short life for him.
Yeah.
And if they got to change things, it's sad, Bill, because they got such a good roster, and it's such a waste for Rodgers. This is just a waste. They can't get their crap straight.
Yeah, it's a shame that they took all that momentum and just threw it away. Appreciate the phone call as always, buddy. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it for hanging out with us in Rockford. Let's go to our buddy Gerard in Delaware. Gerard, what's going on, man?
Well, Bill, remember what Jair said in the beginning of the year? Oh, if we lose the next two, look, did you see the pass with 2 minutes left in the game where Burks beat Jair down the sidelines for a 50-yard
he missed
game?
it. Yep.
Okay, you see, this is what goes on. And if you think he's the only one that thought that, if you think he was the only one that said that, look, they gave up 27 points. It could have been worse. They gave up 28 points to Dallas. Okay, you can't do that. Like you said, the secondary 8 yards off the line of scrimmage. Hey,
Gerard, Gerard, just hold for a second, okay? I got to hit the network here. Just hang for a second. Let me get into the show, and I'll come right back. Hang in there just a second, buddy. For all of you watching on the Bud Light live stream, hang in there for just a second, too. We're going to start the music. We're going to come right back, so don't go anywhere. We're right here. We're just going to the network broadcast now for all of you. We're now going statewide. We're going app-wide. We're going nationwide. Here we go. Hang in there. Hang in there. I'm not hoping Rodgers retires. No. Here we go.
This is the Green and Gold.
Here we go, the Green and Gold postgame show. We are now live on the network for all of you that have been waiting for this with bated breath. The Green Bay Packers taking on the chin 27-17. And to me, if I'm Wayne Larrivee, I'm screaming it. There is your dagger. You had to have this one. You got Philadelphia on the road. You've got the Vikings at home. You got Miami on the road. You got tough teams. And that means you basically have to now win out. And you maybe have room to lose one more, but you basically got to win out. I don't think this team is capable of doing it. And damn straight, not with the coaching staff that was so unbelievably pathetic in the first half of this ball game. It was on them and them alone. The second half, Rodgers missed some passes, but Matt LaFleur's play calling sucked, and Joe Barry was even worse. It was horse blank tonight what he did defensively to this team. All right, we got Gerard from Delaware on the line with us. Gerard, go back to what you were thinking, buddy.
Well, I'm gonna say this as far as the defensive backs playing off the unaggressive. We've seen this all year. All this is nothing new.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen this all year. So, okay, who's doing this? It's the head coach. Who is the reason why the defensive coordinator, Barry, is playing the way he is? How come it's not corrected? How come it's every week the same thing? How come this? How come that? Look, in my opinion, Bill, and you know how long I've been around in the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
You got it. It's over for LaFleur. It's over, and he's lost this team. They play lackadaisical. Even like Rodgers doesn't look like he's got that want and that real. He did a little bit against Dallas, but he didn't look at it this game, the way he was playing and all of it. When he took that sack, that was just ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Why? Just throw it away. Why would you take that sack?
I cannot fathom that. I can't fathom how he missed. Now, we're going to talk about the thumb, but he missed Lazard a couple of times tonight. The throw to Sammy Watkins, either Watkins pulled up or Rodgers just was way, way off in his estimation as to how fast Sammy Watkins was. But to me, what lost this game was that long drive that the defense finally got off the field, and Matt LaFleur went out with A.J. Dillon, not even your best back. A.J. Dillon runs it twice, gives the ball right back after a minute, 15 seconds to give your defense a breather, and they go right down the field and score on you. I thought that was a pathetic display, and he deserved to be booed off the field at halftime.
Look, this is a totally dysfunctional team. Every other down, there's something different that goes wrong. Even that play on 4th and 1, Jones could have bounced that ball, could have bounced outside. He still would have been running. Mm-hmm. Why did he try to go? I mean, it didn't make sense. Nothing they're doing is making sense. They're so dysfunctional. And that's why I'm telling you, Bill, they got to clean house. In my opinion, they got to. Because it looks to me that this team, LaFleur has lost this team.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. They're going to give Matt LaFleur, because of his record and what he's done in the past, another season. Joe Barry's going to be fired. They're going to get a decent draft. Maybe they'll do something in free agency to give Aaron Rodgers yet another wide receiver. Get rid of Sammy Watkins. Probably get rid of David Bakhtiari. Try to revamp the offensive line and say we're going to build through the draft. That's what they're going to do. Gerard, write it down. Keep this in your history banks, and then when it happens, that's exactly what they're going to do.
And just because I want it to happen, as we know, how many things that we want to happen, it's not necessarily going to happen. But I could see it now, Bill. He's lost his game. This guy walks around with his tail between his legs. He really does.
He looks right now weak. I agree with that. He looks
come on,
weak.
Bill. How many times? He's weak. This guy is just. You see Vrabel on the sideline. He looks like he has command of everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He was laughing. Him and Rodgers are laughing because he knew his own player. He has players that were smart enough to do that thing on the field to stop Rodgers from picking up that penalty. How many Packer players would have done that?
Right.
How many? Think about this.
Not many.
They're
I
not
agree.
A smart team, Bill. They're not a smart team. They're not a well-coached team. And it really.
Well, what you say, I got to run. Appreciate the phone call. I got to get a whole bunch more, okay? But Gerard, always appreciate it, buddy. They're not a smart team in many areas. They are not well coached in any areas. There are times that they show flashes, but I think there are times offensive play calling, Matt LaFleur doesn't put them in the best position. Now, I give credit. There was a couple of drives beginning of the second half. I thought, man, really good play calling. They went back to play action. They mixed it up. They went Aaron Jones. Then they ended up going over to Lazard. Then they went down to Watson. Things began to flow again. And you're thinking, okay, here we go. Nice play calling. Give Matt LaFleur credit. What I take away from Matt LaFleur was that second quarter play calling was bad. And that's when you needed him the most to be at the best of his game, to get him out of that hole after that long drive when Tennessee was turned away. You really needed the momentum to shift there. And you thought that, and that stunk. And then you thought, you know what? Right after Tannehill, I just tweeted it out that Tannehill was 140 plus at one point in the ball game when it came to quarterback rating. And then, damn, Rasul Douglas, the very next play, picks him off. And I'm like, okay, here you go. There's your turning point. And then they did nothing with it. Missed throws, bad call, bad run, line got blown up. It was just like, hey, somebody wake up the offense. Do you care? The defense, at least up front, contained Derrick Henry, right? At least Derrick Henry, by the way, ran for 3.1 yards per game tonight. 28 carries, 87 yards, didn't crack 100 yards. It seemed like he did, but he didn't. He just grinded on him, and they did a good job of containing him. But the longest pass of the night was a 51-yarder to Burks. We all saw that. Woods had a 32-yarder. Derrick Henry had the one that was a little pitch behind the line of scrimmage, and he took off for 42 yards. But it wasn't like they were burning him for 40 yards consistently. It was just dink and dunk, 14-yard touchdown pass, 16-yard touchdown pass. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Just unbelievably frustrating if you're a Packers fan, to see what this team did, the energy they played with, and how they covered and how they really came with a tenacity, playing a lot more man, a lot better scheme, letting guys run free against the Cowboys. And then in this game, Joe Barry had them back in that soft cover zone defense. Just keep it in front of you. Give them 6 yards. Oh, by the way, Joe, hello, they only need 4. They only need 4. First down. Keep them on the field. Don't let them get past 10. Oh, by the way, they need 6. First down. Keep them on the field. Just, man, just terrible tonight. Let's go back to the phones. Let's talk to our buddy Emil. Emil, how you doing, man? What's going on? Emil, you there?
Bill.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Hello, go ahead.
Oh, this is not Emil. This is L, man.
L, how you doing? L, what's happening?
Oh, nothing, man. You threw me off with the name. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of. They lost Emil. Emil was on hold, and they ended up going back to you. So there you go. So what's up, L? How you been, buddy?
I'm good, man. But this is right here. You can't even defend this. Like, you really can't.
Nope.
Everything you said is pretty much what's going on across the board. I've been saying this for the past couple of weeks. This dude, Joe Barry, man, how does he still even have a job?
Don't know.
Like you said, he shouldn't even be allowed to even go inside of the locker room after the night.
Mm-hmm.
These dudes up front, I mean, listen, it's one thing if you play against a better team because, they have better talent than you or whatever. This team isn't built like that. This is one of the worst receiving corps that we probably faced this year. And you sit back in the zone, giving them 5 and 10 yards off the ball, don't challenge them. And then when you finally challenge them, you get an interception. But I just don't get it, man. And then Aaron Rodgers just missing people on the field, and then the play calling was just terrible. I mean, I don't know, man. We're done.
No, I'm right there with you. It's just disappointing. For lack of a better term, it's just
disappointing.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was going to go to the game next week. I'm not wasting my money, man. I'm sitting in the house and I'm watching it from home.
Yeah,
I will wait. I'm fine. But thanks, man.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it. The Titans came into this game averaging 18.4 points per game. 18.4 points per game. 18.4 points per game. They averaged 281.7 yards per game, the absolute positive worst in the National Football League. 281.7. 281.7 tonight, 408. Total net yards. 337 in the passing game for Ryan Tannehill. Just keep it in front of you. Just keep it in front of you. That was Joe Barry's mantra, I guess, coming in. Just awful. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Give us a shout. It's just, I'm watching the Bud Light live stream just light up. We got so many people over there. Ryan says, screw the stats. I get it. Alan says, you literally a hater every game you dog them. Alex, what let me ask you, Alex, for those on the Bud Light live stream, what positive do you want to take out of this game? Christian Watson had a couple of touchdown passes. The defense played pretty well against Derrick Henry up front. But this whole thing about you hate on this team has won 4 games. They have lost 7. So the positives don't outweigh the negatives. And if you can't handle the fact that I'm going to point out both the positive and negative, then you're drinking the green and gold Kool-Aid, and that's fine. But don't call me out for telling it like it is. The coaching staff in a series sucked. Joe Barry's defense was soft. Matt LaFleur at times, and especially when it comes to clock management, looks clueless. Again, with 5 minutes to go in a game, they don't have any timeouts. What do you want to talk about a positive, Alex? I dare you to call in. I dare your sorry ass to call this program and call in and be a man. Otherwise, take what you have and go away. There's nothing there. Don't check your pants. Don't look down. There's nothing there. 877-867-1670. There's not much to be positive about. Let's go to Sean. Sean, welcome to the program, man. What's happening? Sean, you there? Sean's not there. Let's go, Brad, Iron Mountain. Brad, how you doing tonight? What's going on, man? We got anybody? Connor, you live back in the studio? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Not getting it. Not getting the calls on. Let's go back to the Bud Light live stream for those that are here. Brett said you screwed them all, right? Everybody's in the wake, right? Bueller, you're calling them out, yeah. Connor says, by the way, he said Vrabel just showed us what a real coach looks like, and why LaFleur was his assistant. Jeff says, I'm so sick of hearing we need to look at the tape during the post-game press conferences. Didn't they just watch the game like we did? Right? Probably saw it up front and close and personal. The bad guy TV says Rodgers wasn't good tonight. No, he wasn't. He wasn't great. He wasn't awful, but he missed some throws and He missed some throws at the most inopportune time. Rodgers wasn't great. Packers were 50% on third down, 53.8%. The Titans were on third down. Titans were 1 for 2 on fourth down. Packers 0 for 2 on fourth down, but the yardage is it. 408 yards for the Titans, 271 for the Green Bay Packers. Time of possession, 32-28 Titans, 27-32 for the Packers, which, by the way, they did a much better job in the second half than they did in the first half. In the first half, they were outgunned by almost 10 minutes. So kudos to the Packers, at least playing a little bit better in the second half. They just missed some things. Penalty-wise tonight, it wasn't horrible. Packers penalized 5 times for 40 yards. A good, well-disciplined Tennessee Titans team. They should have had a couple more in pass interference, which they were basically keeping the flags in their pants tonight. But only 2 penalties for 20 yards. That was it. Packers didn't get penalized terribly, but the Packers in the fourth quarter alone, think about this now. They came out, they had a field goal. Next drive, they get the ball back, touchdown. Okay? Then, right after that, you go touchdown in the third quarter for the Titans, touchdown again. Then they turn the ball over on the interception. Then the Packers go 3 and out defensively. They did a solid job, gave the ball back to the offense. The offense in the fourth quarter went 3 plays and out, 3 plays and out, 4 plays, turned it over on downs, 10 plays, 37 yards, turned it over on downs. That's the way they went tonight. That's the way the offense went tonight in the second half. And really, when they needed them the most in the fourth quarter, there was no magic left. There was no fourth quarter comeback magic like they did against the Cowboys this past weekend. No fourth quarter magic coming back. And this is from Austin, who says, "Is this it?" What do you mean, Austin? Is this it? Is this it? The end of the season, or is this it? I couldn't tell you. (877-867-1670). Andrew says, "Hey, Bill, Matt LaFleur said in his press conference. Got to go back and look at the tape." Oh, there's a shocker. Yeah, horrible play. You hang right there. Those of you watching on the Bud Light live stream, hang in there. We're going to come right back to you. I promise. We're going to continue to scroll through a lot of this stuff that's coming across right now. We really appreciate it. A lot of people want to get their message out tonight. No doubt about it. Stay tuned. We're going to take a break. We're going to come right back. Got a lot more of the Green and Gold postgame show brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. They are the official beer sponsor of the Bill Michaels Sports Talk Network. We got a lot more to discuss. We're going to hear more from inside the locker room. Matt LaFleur is going to be coming up. Rodgers is going to be coming up. Mike Clemens is going to be coming up. Stay tuned. We got more after this.
This is the Green and Gold postgame show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
You got to hit it, bang it, rock it, pull it in the pocket.
Welcome back. We are brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the Bill Michaels Sports Talk Network. We are glad to have you, everybody, over on the Bud Light live stream. Thanks for hanging out with us. We certainly appreciate it. And those of you that are kind of spinning the wheel over on the stream, we're going to get to a lot of the comments. I promise you. Let's get back to it. Let's go to Joe listening to us in Green Bay. Joe, how you doing, man? What's going on? Joe. Okay, I don't know what's going on back in the studio, but something's going on and something needs to be pushed properly. Somebody make a call. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Jerry says, I dare you, says Bill. Now Jackass Billy threatening his callers because he has nothing of substance. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Jerry? Jerry, you're kind of a coward. You're the guy that doesn't call. You're the guy that doesn't call. I never bullied any callers. Never threatened any callers today. So what I'm saying is Jerry, if you got something to say it and bring it. Don't be that guy making a blanket statement being a coward. You're nothing more than a coward. Call up, have the cojones and do it. Otherwise, go away. Do I have a defensive coordinator choice in Green Bay? That's a great question. There's a couple of guys that I would look at. Now you're not going to get anybody. You're not going to get anybody out of San Francisco, but San Francisco's had a really good defense for quite some time. They always seem to play tough. Now, granted, they've got some good people and good players. Don't get me wrong. And Joey Bosa dictates what's going on, but that might be the first place to go. You look at a guy like Zimmer, who's had success, Fangio, who's had success, older guys that have been there, done that. They may not be the easiest when it comes to tutelage, but they've always had track records of success playing when it comes to defensive coordinators. Zimmer used to give the Packers fits, even going back to when he was with Cincinnati. So that might be a way to go. 877-867-1670. If you want to give us a shout, please feel free to go ahead and do so. Again, 877-867-16. Ryan says this game was a cluster F. He said Matt LaFleur and Joe Barry need to go. Your thoughts if they would fire Matt LaFleur tonight? I've said this before. Matt LaFleur is going to get time to turn this thing around. Okay? He just is. The first 3 years of his career, his tenure here, that's going to garner him time. They're going to take a good, hard look at the personnel because I think a lot of us maybe either one, overestimated the talent on defense, or two, the talent's there. It's just being misused. Okay? One of those two things. All right? So Matt LaFleur will get time to figure this out. But I'll tell you this. There are times that I look at the clock management with Matt LaFleur, and I also look at some of the sequence of play calling, and I'm like, was Nathaniel Hackett in his ear about certain things and certain situations that brought in a different play call? Because Aaron Rodgers has been very emphatic that, hey, I'm not calling the plays. I go to he was, at least up until the Cowboys game, going to the line of scrimmage with an RPO. But even in the last game, they used more play action. They were more successful via play action. In 85% of play action, they had 311 yards out of play action and or running the football than they did anything else. So I don't know how things have gotten drastically different. You know, I don't know if that's I don't know if that's LaFleur. I don't now again, also let's give credit where credit is due. The Tennessee Titans played a kick-ass game. They did. They manhandled the Packers up front. Let's try this one more time. Let's go back to the phone calls. Let's try Bruce. Bruce, you there? Nope. Something's not being fed to the board properly where it's going out. I don't know what it is. I'm not hearing anything. There you go. Oh, there's Bruce. Bruce, how you doing, man? What's going on?
What's going on?
I am here, man. How you doing tonight?
Well, what can you say?
Right?
I got a quick question for you. At one point, when do you say enough is enough, and how much time are you going to give Gutekunst to fix this problem? And I don't know if I want to give Matt LaFleur another year.
I think a lot of people are questioning that, to be quite honest with you. Here's two things about that. Bruce, you bring up good questions. Appreciate it, man. Hang in there. And thanks for the phone call. The first thing, when you talk about Gutekunst is going to get another year at least to try to fix this thing. Again, 13-3 buys that group a lot of time. Remember, Matt LaFleur, according to Mark Murphy, was Mark Murphy's hire. Gutekunst agreed. They all went in on it, but it was Russ Ball and Mark Murphy, right? Russ Ball and Mark Murphy. Mark Murphy said it the day that they hired Matt LaFleur that he impressed them, and on the plane ride home, they said, we believe he's got the job, that he's the guy, right? So I don't think you're going to lose Matt LaFleur anytime, at least not this season and going into next season, because this is Mark Murphy's hire along with Russ Ball and Brian Gutekunst. They're going to get time. 877-867-1670. Hit us up again. 877-867-1670 if you want to give us a shout. But that's remember that. And the offensive line got handled up front tonight as well. Let's go to Joe listening to us in Stoughton. Joe, how you doing today, man? What's going on?
Bill, I want to fire Joe Barry right now. The only thing I got to say to you, buddy, is you're going to love this besides, hey, kid, how you living? But here's what I want to say to you, big unit.
Yes.
Bucks in 6.
There you go. I'll jump on that bandwagon.
I know you will.
Yep. I'll go with that. No
That's
problem.
It's one of the only thing good we got going for us right now, man.
I know right now you got appreciate the phone call. At least you got the Bucks that are playing well and they look good. You're going to get guys back. You're going to get Middleton back. You're going to get the guys healed up. Pat Connaughton is going to be coming back, and hopefully things go in a great direction. But tonight, Packers, poof, ugly. Appreciate the phone call. Let's go to Joe listening to us in Green Bay. Joe, how you doing, man? What's up?
Can you hear me, Bill?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, perfect. Hey, Matt LaFleur's got to go. I don't know how anybody can how can anybody make the case that Matt LaFleur stays after last week's game where he messed up at the end of the game, after crying when he was in the locker room, after calling out a player who was a third-string running back as to that he didn't have good practice habits, to today blowing it. He needs to go. And when you talk about defense, I'm sorry, Joe Barry might be a problem, but don't forget that John Gray is the defensive backs coach. And what's the weakest point of our team? The defensive backs sitting back 10 yards while they throw passes underneath. So, you know what? Matt LaFleur needs to go. There's no doubt about it. Everybody who's been alive, who's 50 or older, knows this is Lindy Infante 2.0. You need to get rid of him.
Yeah, appreciate the phone call. It is not it's so hard because you saw what this offense did last year. And you know what? It was also very telling. Go back to what was stated when Rodgers, and I don't know what press conference it was, and if you know, let me know. But remember when Rodgers said, yeah, about 85% of our offense ran through Devontae Adams. And we looked at each other and all went, what? What? 85% of the offense through Devontae. Well, no wonder they were looking at Devontae all the time. Now you know that Devontae and Rodgers, between those two and what they were spreading around the rest of the football field, and the way defenses were, kind of going after and double teaming and triple teaming Devontae, and now you go, oh, okay, they always had that safety blanket, right? LaFleur doesn't have that. And he's gotten creative in play calling at times, and I've given him a lot of credit. But the consistency has not been there. Now, I will say, like I said earlier tonight, Rodgers missed some passes specifically in the fourth quarter that you really needed. But, man, not a great night tonight. We got another hour yet to go. We're going to hear from Matt LaFleur. We're going to hear from Aaron Rodgers. We're going to talk to Mike Clemens inside Lambeau Field. Stay tuned. Stick around. We got a lot more to get to. Got a ton of people between YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch TV. Holy mackerel. We're setting records tonight. Stay tuned. We got more right after this.
Blue 58, go! Green 18, Green 19, touch!
This is the Green and Gold postgame show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Packers lose ugly fashion, uninspired tonight after getting and pretty much putting together all of that momentum. And I know I was a little bit hard on it because I was giddy that they mathematically stayed alive, so to speak, and they still are. But they showed that life against the Cowboys. And tonight, man, it all went away. A lot of that just went away. Now, there's still hope. Don't get me wrong. But it all kind of went away. Now you have maybe one loss left in you for the remainder of the season. You have stuck yourself so far down the rabbit hole, you just don't know if you can come back from it. You just don't know if you can come back. All that momentum you just threw out the window. It's going to be a long 10 days until this team comes back onto the field in Philadelphia on a Sunday night nationally televised game and tries to muster something that's going to resemble a four-quarter football team. They just can't do it. Just can't do it. Let's go to Joe listening to us in Georgia. Joe, how you doing tonight, man? What's going on?
Hey, Bill. How you doing? Thanks for having me out, man. I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Well, how am I doing? God, this was such a bad game. I mean, after the Dallas game, I thought, you know what? Okay, here we go. We're going to go on a run here. Green Bay's going to get everything together. They're going to we're going to do this here. No. This team is so poorly coached in every aspect. Special teams, offense, defense. Bill, it's 3rd and short, and you got 8 guys dropping deep. What the heck are you doing?
I know.
What are we doing? What are we trying to accomplish?
I've been screaming that all season long. I don't get it. That soft zone has killed this team all season.
Oh, yeah. The whole night tonight, the offense. When Aaron Rodgers is running play action, he is the best ever at it, selling it of all time. Why? It's just baffling to me. Just the whole operation. Special teams, yeah, well, that's not too good. But what the coaching on this team is just bad. It's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do going forward. I mean, this is the same team that has gone 13-3 the past 3 years in a row, right?
Yeah.
We've all watched it. It's been good. It's been great. It's been awesome. This is odd. with Rodgers as your quarterback, and I know you got young receivers, you got younger offensive linemen, all that good stuff. Rodgers is your quarterback. What are we doing? What, like, why is this so bad? Why is it so hard?
I completely get it.
I'm very disappointed in this team. Very disappointed.
No, I would agree with that. I don't understand. I have been questioning Joe Barry's soft defense all season long, and I defended Joe Barry coming out of last season because I thought the defense showed more promise. They were top 10 in a lot of different categories, top 12 in many. And I thought, boy, this thing, all they need is a couple additional players, and they can just ball out. And it seems like when you got Jair back, you decided to play this soft zone. You didn't know where you were going to put Savage. Is he a slot? Is he not? Is he going to be a hard hitter? Rasul Douglas in the slot or not? I mean, it's like, what are you doing? And you're still tinkering with a team. You don't know what the team's capable of, and you're 8, 9, 10 games into the season. I mean, that's unbelievably terrible coaching.
Bad, awful. Like what are you seeing that we don't see at practice?
Right. I don't get it. I mean, that's just like they kept saying behind closed doors, Amari Rodgers was great. And you, me, and even the Pope dropped an MFer when he saw him put the ball on the carpet. It's like, come on, man. What are you looking at?
I mean, it's insane to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are they doing at practice? What are they watching? I do want to give a props tonight to Quay Walker. I thought he played his butt off.
The last 2 games he's played well since they've given him the helmet to call the plays, and he has not had to rely on Devondre Campbell to kind of cover him. He's played really well, really well. Give him credit, yeah,
big time credit. Savage, oh, gosh, man, it hurts me so bad to watch Savage play this bad. He reminded me a lot of Nick Collins at first, but now he's I don't know, but long season, bad season. Maybe they turn it around, maybe they don't.
Yeah, no, I would love to see them turn it around. I would love to see them, just win out, quote, run the table. But I see nothing right now that is going to make me believe that they could do that.
No, I thought the same thing after the Dallas game, but it's bad.
Yep, no doubt.
Bad coaching. It's just a bad season.
Right. No, it's appreciate it, man. Thanks for giving us a buzz. I appreciate it. This is from Kevin. Says Bill A-Rod has a broken thumb and nobody's talking about it. Well, he's been asked flat out. He got mad when the accusation was that he had a broken thumb. He says A-Rod was the only one that could make a season of it this year. Matt LaFleur is very poor and a weak head coach. He has to go tomorrow. Rich B can take over. The only why this happens is pressure from the media make it happen. I think it sucks. I've made my point clear. Now, do I think Matt LaFleur has to go? I think if guys aren't playing hard, I don't care how much success you have under your belt, you got to go. I think guys are still playing hard. I think there are coaching things that have proven to be, as far as ineptitude goes. That play calling at the end of the first half was atrocious. The clock management, atrocious. Again, we're looking at a team that needs timeouts, and they don't have any with 5 minutes still to go in the game. Atrocious. All of that. It just, all of that goes to it. 877-867-1670. But I appreciate it hitting us up over on the Bud Light live stream, and all of you. Justin says, Bill, you can get a first down on this defense. Play 10 yards off the ball on 3rd and 7. Hell yeah. Soft zone falls on Barry. This is from we lost Devontae and then signed Sammy Watkins. Big mistake. Sammy Watkins, he's a shell of himself, isn't he? I mean, we've always known that. But that pass over the middle, Aaron Rodgers staring daggers at him. Now, it was, to me, I thought it was a pass that really, I don't know if he would have had. I had people that were actually at the game that saw the pass that said, yeah, that was off, but Watkins quit on the route. He quit running. So I mean, I don't know what would have or could have or should have happened, but it looked bad on both ends. No control of this team. This team is not disciplined at all. That's coming from Abdo. The bad TV guy says there's two types of coaches in the NFL. Coach A, I'm going to trick or fool you, and then there's Coach B, I'm going to fool you. What? I don't get that. Maybe I'm misreading it. I don't know. Paul says Savage, awful. But Darnell Savage Jr. was a hell of a player when he first came into the league. He was a hitter. I appreciated it. He looks lost, and I think I think they're putting him in a bad position because he's looked better. I would love to see what another defensive coordinator can do with him because I still think he's got something in him. I really do. Steve says, what about Mike Zimmer? That's who I was talking about earlier. Mike Zimmer, Nick Fangio, some of these guys that have had proven track records as defensive coordinators. Let's go back to it. We got our buddy Mike in West Dallas. Mike, how you doing tonight? Make some sense of it, man.
I'm doing good. How's it going, Bill?
We've had better nights. No doubt about it.
Yeah, 17 points, Bill. 17 points. The Packers have scored over 20 points, I think a total of like 2 or 3 times all season with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. That's horrible. And I blame this season on Brian Gutekunst because he did not surround Aaron Rodgers with enough weapons to be successful. And 3 guys that have sucked all season offensively sucked again tonight. Sammy Watkins, you've mentioned it multiple times. He is the George Hill of the Green Bay Packers. He's totally washed, and he doesn't belong on an NFL football field. Robert Tonyan, he was a pedestrian tight end to begin with, coming off an ACL injury, and you're counting on him to be our starting tight end for what is supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. 2 catches, 19 yards. The guy can't run. A.J. Dillon, I don't know if he had one too many cheeseburgers this offseason in Door County, 6 carries, 13 yards.
Yep.
But he's got no burst whatsoever.
None.
He doesn't even look like an NFL player this season, Bill.
I agree with you.
Yeah, and another thing, too, is what my fear is, Bill, this offseason is the Packers are going to have a top 10 draft pick. They're going to spend it on a left tackle to replace David Bakhtiari. They're not going to draft a wide receiver in the first round. They're going to draft some project in the 4th round, and then they're going to sign another past his prime scrub in the offseason on the cheap to play wide receiver. They're going to expect growth from Dubs and Watson, and they're going to call it a day, and then they're going to suck again next season offensively. And that is my biggest fear, is that for whatever reason, Brian Gutekunst does not believe in investing significant resources on the offensive side of the football. He just expects Aaron Rodgers to be Superman and do it all himself. And clearly, Rodgers is not the same player that he cannot do that anymore.
Now, admittedly, he's got a thumb injury, but he's just flat out. There's times he's just missed. I don't know if it's flipping off the thumb weird, because I've never seen Aaron Rodgers uncharacteristic miss so many passes. He looked good against Dallas, but go back to that Detroit game. You can't unsee that, man. He was missing guys bad. In this game, he did it again.
Yeah, Lazard, the pass to Lazard, that he might have scored a touchdown on that play, Bill. He had a ton of green in front of him on that play. The pass to Watkins was horrible.
Yeah.
And another thing too, it is kind of a tangent, Bill, but what were the Packers? There was 6 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Why were they not in a hurry-up offense at that point?
No idea.
They were draining the clock down to like 5 seconds. You're down by 10 points. Are you trying to win the football game?
Right.
I don't understand that.
I completely get it. I had no idea. Why are you not in a hurry up? Why are you not playing with a sense of urgency? Didn't get that at all either.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
It sets the tone. It sets the tone for the rest of the team, Bill.
Mike,
really
appreciate the phone call as always, buddy. We'll talk to you soon, okay? There you go. That's our buddy Mike listening to us in West Dallas. We're all over the place. We're in Georgia, West Dallas, Green Bay. We're all over in Eau Claire and La Crosse tonight. We're everywhere. We're up in Delaware with our buddy Gerard. All over the joint. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Let's do this. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. Hang in there because you're going to want to hear this. Matt LaFleur going to the podium, starting out his presser tonight. You're going to want to hear it. Stay right where you're at. Hang in there. This portion of the program and the post-game show brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. They are the official beer sponsor of the Bill Michaels Sports Talk Network. We got more of the Green and Gold post-game show coming up right after this.
This is the Green and Gold postgame show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back. We are brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. They bring you the Green and Gold postgame show. Thanks to them for being a part of the program. Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the Bill Michaels Sports Talk Network. Don't forget, next week we're going to be at the Mecca Sports Bar and Grill in the Deer District, down by the Fiserv Forum for the Bill Michaels Huddle coming up on Wednesday night. Brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. 877-867-1670. 877-867-1670. Let's do this. Parker, I know you're on hold. I'll get to you, but we got to listen to at least the first few minutes, 5, 6, 7 minutes of Matt LaFleur at the podium just a little bit earlier. Take a listen to this.
Performance like that, I don't even know what to say. It was nothing like a few days ago, and that's why you're only as good as your last game. And every time you step out on that field, you got to go out and do it. And give credit to the Titans. They came ready to play. They were obviously more physical, and they made a lot more plays than we made, and just there was no consistency in terms of being complementary offensively and defensively. Obviously, when we needed stops, we couldn't get them. And then when we needed to score, we were getting stops, we couldn't score and didn't take advantage of an interception, didn't take advantage of, the return to midfield. So you can't do that against good football teams and expect to win.
They don't have a ton of star power on defense, but what makes them so tough to run on?
I just think they're big and physical, and they really commit to the run. And that's why I think a lot of teams have thrown the ball on them, because they trigger hard. The linebackers are downhill. They're ready to stop the run. And they want to try to make you one dimensional. And then when we couldn't throw and catch to the level that we're accustomed to. So, it's give credit to them.
Man, why do you guys think Aaron and the receivers just missed each other so many times today?
I couldn't tell you that, Rob. I got to go back and watch it. But yeah, it was a little off tonight for sure.
You did a good job on Henry. Is that the other side of the coin? Is Tannehill had a big night? Is that kind of the yin and yang of that?
I thought our defense, we battled hard, but certainly couldn't get off the grass in the first half. I think offensively, outside of the 2 minute, I think there was 3 possessions. Obviously they scored right there at the end of the half and kicked the ball back. Was there like 28 seconds left when we got the ball back? So there was a huge, I don't know what the numbers are in terms of where they have an 18 play drive, a 9 play drive in the first half, an 8 play drive, going down and scoring on the first possession. Then we got the stop, that critical stop, backed up, and we did nothing with it. We went 3 and out, punted from our own inch line, which set them up for really good field position. And it was just a bad night all in all.
So where do you think you guys are mentally, emotionally right now, where you had the big win, and then this game you're getting up to the stretch run, it's a tight playoff race to even be in the discussion. Where are you guys at?
Yeah, we're not in a very good position right now, that's for sure. Like I told the guys, there's no margin for error, period. And it's not like, I know we got a really tough team coming up in Philly. So we're going to get back to work on Monday and try to make some of these corrections, because it's disappointing when you have, whether it's a coverage bust defensively, whether it's protection busts or any type of mistake in regards to the mental errors. That's extremely disappointing, especially where we're at in the season. And we're not, quite frankly, even when we are all on the same page, we're not executing to the level that we need to. And that's why, we're sitting here at freaking 4-7.
And Matt, what do you hope you see when you bring the guys back in? What do you need to see from them when they come back after however much time you give them off this weekend?
Yeah, there's got to be an urgency, and I challenged everybody in the locker room, including myself and the coaches. There's got to be something that every individual has something to work on and get better at. Again, just extremely disappointed right now.
There you go. That's Matt LaFleur. I got to cut it off. I appreciate that he's taking the questions. It's a tough time. I understand it. But as a head coach, when you keep saying, I don't know, you're the guy that's supposed to know. It makes it really easy for all of the people that say, fire Matt LaFleur. It makes it easy to agree with him. When you keep saying, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I don't understand that. And somebody had put it up on the Bud Light live stream, and thank you for putting this. You know what? We've all been in a relationship, and the relationship was great. It was just like a meteor, right? And then as time goes on and problems occur, and you're not able to deal with those problems, when you keep saying, I don't know. It sounds like you're at the end of that relationship. I challenge the guys. We don't have any room for error. Well, Matt, why can't you get off, field on third down? I don't know. I don't know. I got to go back and look at the tape. Well, you've been saying that all season long. Matt, you get the stop. You get the stop on fourth down. You go 3 and out. I don't know. Can't do anything with the big return. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any answer right now. But wait a minute. You're the guy that's being paid to have the answers. Can you say, hey, we didn't do this. This is what we didn't do. This is where we screwed up. I'm not saying you got to go out and throw guys under the bus, but you got to be more emphatic. You got to say, this is what we didn't clean up. This is the problem. We missed a block here. We missed a coverage in the back end. He alluded to it a little bit, but this is also the same stuff. We're hearing it. Oh, when you hear coaches give you the same excuse over and over and over and over again, missed assignment. Well, you know what? You can say that. Either one, you've got an absolute box of rocks and a non-Mensa meeting going on in the secondary, or you've got a coach that can't communicate properly and get guys to be in the right place at the right time. Or it's so complicated, they just are all locked up. It's paralysis via analysis. So one of those three are happening. One of those three. And it's funny because the year before, the majority of these guys got it. So what's changed? What's changed? Do you have the ability to teach it? Have other coaches figured you out? And you just, when you keep saying, I don't know, it's because Vrabel figured you out. Vrabel said, we're going to run Derrick Henry, and you're going to sell out to stop the run. But we know that guy sitting up in the defensive coordinator's box or standing on the field in the defensive coordinator's headset, he will sell out for the run and drop safeties and coverage back on third and short. We'll take what you give us all day long. No problem. We're going to move the sticks. You know why? Because we can. We're going to keep that offense off the field. They did it for almost an entire quarter. He outcoached you. Vrabel's a great coach. Right. You should have learned a little bit when you were sitting there as the offensive coordinator under him. You should have learned a little bit. And you bring up the fact that they've got injuries. I agree with that. I don't deny that. Losing Rashawn Gary, that was tough. But they still played well against the run. Losing Devondre Campbell, that's tough. Quay Walker's played even better. Losing Stokes, well, most of you thought Stokes sucked anyway. So what loss was that? I think Stokes is pretty solid, but most of you think Stokes sucks. Savage, instead of getting progressively better, has gotten progressively worse and looks more lost. Whose fault is that? That's coaching. 877-867-1670. If you want to find us, please feel free to go ahead and do so. Let's get back to the phone calls. Let's go to Parker listening to us in Eau Claire. Parker, how you doing tonight, man? What's going on? Parker! He must have put the phone down, ran to the bathroom. Parker, there you go. Parker, what's up? No, he's got us on. Put him back on hold because he's got the radio on. We're like 10 or 15 seconds behind the radio. Or the radio's behind us. So 877-867-1670. You want to hit us up? Do so. Give us a call. Turn off your radio. Listen to it on the phone. This is from what is it? JJ, I think he says, I'd rather have Douglas starting than Stokes. We didn't execute, but I got to look at the tape. WTF does that even mean anymore? Right? I agree with that. This is from Jesse. Jesse says, Matt LaFleur sounds like a broken record and sounds like somebody who's at the end of his rope. He doesn't know what to say anymore, so he just says, I don't know. He looks even more foolish. Anthony says, I give Matt LaFleur a little bit of a break. He has been a pretty successful head coach, but he's never faced this kind of adversity. He's now going through it. The problem is when good coaches face adversity, they figure out a way to overcome it. Matt LaFleur is throwing his hands in the air and showing everybody inside that locker room he really doesn't know what he's doing. Let's go back to the phones. Parker in Eau Claire. Parker, how you doing tonight, man? What's up?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, Parker. What's on your mind, man?
So actually, I happened to actually be at the Packer game tonight. And it's just weird because it almost seems like the team doesn't know what they're doing, or like it doesn't seem like it almost seems like everything's so forced. Like when you see other offenses in the league, everything just seems so smooth. Where our passing game, it just seems like Aaron Rodgers is out of control. He's used to Devontae Adams being there whenever anything's not open.
Yeah.
And now when he goes through his progressions and nothing's there, it's almost like they panic and we can't get anything going. And I'll tell you what, Christian Watson is open deep almost every play.
Yeah, there was a couple of times where Rodgers didn't have he either missed him or didn't have the time to get set up to get it downfield. But I saw Watson a couple of times. That guy is so quick on his first move. It's not that he's got even great technique. It's he's just so quick. Guys can't keep up with him, and if he gets a step on you, he's gone. No, I agree with you, man. Thanks for taking a listen to us, buddy. I appreciate it. Thanks for the phone call. 877-867-1670. We're going to take a break. Come back. Aaron Rodgers at the podium. We're going to take a listen to what he has to say. This portion of the program brought to you by Bud Light. Stay tuned. We got more after this.
This is the Green and Gold postgame show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 5 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 4 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back to the program. It's the Green and Gold Postgame Show. I'm Bill Michaels. Packers lose tonight, and their hopes pretty much the Dagger. 27-17. They now go to 4-7 on the season. 4-7, 13 games in, or excuse me, 11 games into this season, with 6 remaining. If they're going to get to 10 wins, they can't afford a loss the rest of the way. I think 10, maybe 9 games get you into the postseason, but I don't see it happening. They pretty much have to win out. And we have not seen anything consistently with this team all season long that's going to make you think that this team can win out. Tonight was the kick to the gut. They needed this win for so many different reasons. You come off of a high like you did against the Cowboys. You were feeling great. If you could have kept that feeling going, you got a lot more belief in yourself, different pep in your step. Obviously it gives you a little more breathing room, but tonight was it. Tennessee ran it down your throat. Tennessee and Ryan Tannehill, who looked like Joe Montana, they just beat the hell out of you. Your offensive play calling, for the most part, was mundane, at times downright poor, and your defensive coordinator, who insists on playing a soft zone pretty consistently, he's got to go. He's got to go. And I don't usually sit and call for people's heads, but Joe Barry sucks. He's got to go. He's got to go. Aaron Rodgers went to the podium. I'll get back to the phone calls in a minute, so hang in there. Aaron Rodgers went to the podium. Here's what Aaron Rodgers had to say. We'll take a few minutes of this. Here we go.
Aaron, why do you think you guys missed some of those wide open plays downfield today?
I missed a couple throws for sure. I'm not sure exactly which ones you're talking about, but I definitely missed a couple throws.
What happened on that third down to Lazard? Looks like he was going from across from your right to left.
I couldn't see exactly where the ball was. Had some people in my face, but I feel like I probably should hit that one. I couldn't see where it finished.
It finished high.
High?
Yeah, but not that high. It seemed like it was close.
Got to throw a better ball.
What happened on the one to Sammy across the middle?
Yeah, I just missed the throw.
Given the way Sunday went, are you surprised by this tonight?
I thought Ryan played really well for them. They stopped the run, gloved us in the back end. We knew this crew doesn't throw a lot of flags. Combine that with, me missing some throws and us not capitalizing on a couple opportunities like Keyshawn's return there. Getting points there obviously hurt us, but we just never could kind of get over that hump and get the ball back with a chance to take the lead.
Did you have concerns coming in about being able to run the ball on these guys? And what was the alternative if that wasn't going for you?
Well, we felt after last week, felt good about running the ball on anybody, but they've been averaging like 66 yards per game the last, 7 or 8. So knew it was going to be tough. They're stout in the middle, good linebackers. Knew we have to throw it. We had obviously a lot more third and long situations today and just didn't convert enough of them.
Where do you go from here, Aaron?
Home.
Okay. Well, as a team, after, again, I know we talk about a lot, man. You won a lot of games here. This is a pretty rare spot for you.
Yeah, season's not over. There's still 6 opportunities left. We got a tough game. Got to go to Philly. Hopefully we can, these few days, get a little healthy or refresh the mind. And then obviously we got to win these next games.
Can you?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
What would you say the reasons would be that you can? If you don't, why can you?
Well, I think last week showed us a lot of possibilities. This week we just didn't play as complimentary on all 3 phases. You got to be excited about the way Christian's played the last 2 weeks. So, Kabi coming back today, I think led us some receiving yards. That was a big jolt for us. As you guys know and have talked about, we need to run the football effectively to win, and didn't do that today. So, have to find a way schematically or otherwise to run it effectively. And when we got opportunities one-on-ones, we got to win one-on-ones. I got to throw the ball better than I did tonight. There's not a lot of margin for error for us, and definitely not when a team is stout, but it gives you some opportunities. Got to hit on those plays.
There you go, Aaron Rodgers after the ball game. A lot of talk early on. He just said, I missed the throw. I missed the throw. I missed the throw. I missed the throw. The question was, now where do you go from here as a team? He said 6 games left, a lot of football left. The confidence of being able to win out. He said, yeah, we can win. They believe that the formula they figured out to win is based in what they did in the second half of the game against the Cowboys. I wouldn't say they're wrong, but we haven't seen them put a full 4 quarters together all season long. Sunday was the closest we've seen, and it was kind of a 3-quarter game maybe. But, can they do it? I doubt it. I think tonight was it. Tonight was the dagger in the heart. But, as long as there's mathematical hope and the sun comes up tomorrow and the Packers aren't eliminated from postseason play, I think Packers Nation breathes, prays, and just waits for the next play. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. 877-867-1670 coming up in the next segment. We're going to hear from Mike Clemens inside Lambeau Field. We'll talk with him. He was on the field. Great shot. By the way, if you want to go look at it over on the Facebook fan page, go to facebook.com/TheBillMichaelsShow. Great shot. Larry Radoff, who's a terrific photographer and does a lot of stuff on the field up at Lambeau Field, got a great shot of our own Mike Clemens shaking hands in an embrace moment with Leroy Butler at halftime. Really really good shot. Really good shot if you want to take a look at it. I just wanted to throw it out there. So kudos to Larry and kudos to Mike and Leroy and Mike and I, all worked together for a long time. So, Bill, this is the Tan Man says, Bill, did you see as many blatant no-call holdings as I did? Yeah, but did you hear Aaron Rodgers after the game just now? He said that they knew this crew doesn't throw a lot of flags, and they didn't. They didn't throw a lot of flags tonight. 2 penalties on the Titans, and what was it? 4 penalties on the 5 penalties on the Packers. Total of 7 flags tonight. They didn't throw a lot of flags tonight. Either way. We're going to take a quick break. Come back. We got Mike Clemens inside Lambeau Field. Stay right where you're at. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll get Mike's thoughts and what he's heard inside Lambeau. It's all coming up next on the Green and Gold Postgame Show.
This is the Green and Gold Postgame Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
The Bill Michaels Show and the Green and Gold postgame show kind of clashing and getting after it as the Packers take it on the chin tonight, and just about everything's dead, unfortunately, in Green Bay now. Playoff hopes have all but been mathematically eliminated to this point, and it looked bad on so many levels. So many levels. Rodgers missed throws. LaFleur's play calling at times stunk. Joe Barry's defense, that soft zone was just atrocious. To keep playing it and keep doing it that way. Either he doesn't have any answers. I don't even know where to go. You know, it's just you're at the end of your rope at this particular point in time. You can point to numerous situations in which it was third and short or second and short for that matter, and you're playing so far off the ball and just giving it up. It's been something that's been systemic all season long, and it's just been absolutely piss poor, for lack of a better term. Real quick, let's get to Tony. Mike Clemens is going to be calling us any second now. But Tony, how you doing tonight, man? What's going on?
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
We've had better nights, that's for damn sure.
You know, you keep talking about LaFleur, and I want to, kind of go back a little bit. And, his 13-3 seasons are great and everything. But you look at that first NFC Championship game, and, granted the Niners had a better roster, but, the way they out physicaled us in that game kind of told me something. And then you go fast forward another year, we finally get that NFC title game at home like Rodgers wanted. And what happens? More defensive blunders, play calling, not going for it on 4th and 8. Fast forward another year, number 1 seed again, snow globe game. Got a San Francisco team coming in that you should beat, and he craps the bet again. It's just like every big moment that guy's in, he just, for whatever reason, can't get over the hump. And then you got this year, it all falls apart. I like LaFleur, and I agree with you. They're not going to get rid of him. There's no way. He's bought himself some time, and he can't get the right defensive coordinator in there. And until they do, I don't see this team getting fixed.
Nope, I would agree with that. 100%. I appreciate the phone call. We've talked about clock management. We've talked about timely play calling. You're right. There's been certain situations, big situations in ball games that he's kind of screwed it up. I would agree with that. 877-867-1670. If you want to find us, feel free to go ahead and do so. This is who's this? This is Mark, who says, "What about Sean Payton out there?" Not yet. Not going in that direction yet. And I don't even think Sean Payton really honestly wants to come here at this point. Let's do this. Let's go up to Green Bay. Our guy up there inside Lambeau Field, Mike Clemens, joining us on the hotline. Mike, this was ugly in a lot of different facets, man.
There's a real level of disappointment because of the momentum you felt and the things you accomplished against the Cowboys. And now you've got a home game and you're playing a beat up but very good Titans team. And, you want to take advantage of this opportunity in the cold at home. And Matt LaFleur, who spent the night as off as Sunday night to dive in to get his prep going, he's very disappointed right now.
Put on a performance like that, I don't even know what to say. There was nothing like a few days ago, and that's why you're only as good as your last game. And you got to, every time you step out on that field, you got to go out and do it and give credit to the Titans. They came ready to play. They were obviously more physical, and they made a lot more plays than we made.
Packers just against this. We talked about it against this run defense, just not able to get the run game going the way they wanted to.
I was just talking to Jeffrey Simmons, the big, huge defensive tackle, and he was asked 3 times, and he gave the answer the same 3 times. We wanted to stop the run. We wanted to stop the run. I mean, that means that they don't trust what Aaron Rodgers has got for receivers right now. And Rodgers said, yeah, they stopped the run.
Last week felt good about running the ball on anybody, but they've been averaging like 66 yards per game the last, 7 or 8. So knew it was going to be tough. They're stout in the middle, good linebackers. Knew we have to throw it. We had obviously a lot more third and long situations today and just didn't convert enough of them.
Hey, Aaron Rodgers missed on a couple of throws. One of them, 2 of them actually to Allen Lazard, and now that was a tough connection. Also the one to Sammy Watkins. But, Tennessee, like you said, they wanted to stop the run and just slow the offense down.
It's weird. Out of nowhere, in the last 5 days, Christian Watson seems to be the only target that you get excited about. And actually, he caught 4 for 6. Lazard was 5 for 11. He dropped some sailed over his head. He's just not in connection with the quarterback right now. And Lazard was asked, what did you think that Tennessee did to slow down the Packers offense?
Stopped us on first and second down with the plays that we were calling.
Mike, I don't know if something happened to the cut right there, but one of the things that we were talking about, I cannot for the life of me fathom why they're playing so far off the ball on 3rd and short, 2nd and short, and basically playing that soft zone consistently and getting burned at it consistently. They made Ryan Tannehill up until the Rasul Douglas pick. He was 140 in the quarterback rating plus, throwing over 300 yards. He looked like Joe Montana tonight.
Yeah, and coming back after missing a couple of games with an ankle injury. But, Bill, to me, they were doing a nice job of, plugging up Derrick Henry. He had under 100 yards, at least last time I looked. His longest run was only 10 yards. They were playing the gap so much, they weren't getting, to the quarterback. They weren't pressuring the quarterback much. And they had at least 5 plays of 30 yards or more that they gave up the Packers secondary in explosive gains. And Jair Alexander was asked, is that the worst performance of the secondary so far this year?
Yeah, I think it was. It's so much emphasis on stopping the run, those coverage busts, it just can't happen, at this point.
They had the coverage, and Matt LaFleur alluded to that too, some of the coverage busts back there, which, at this point in the season, it's like, come on, man. I will say this, though. A lot of praise for Mike Vrabel and his group. They came out ready to play. They had a great game plan.
They, were behind the Broncos. They came out and punched out a 17-10 win against the Denver Broncos. And then the very next day, he had his team, the Titans, in for a long day where, they were running gassers at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon to knock off the rust. And Vrabel talked about how the Titans prepared for the short week.
Our coaches do a fantastic job of being ready to go. I think we give them a great schedule, and I think they respond, and they trust the schedule that we have for them. I think that they probably looked at me like I was nuts when we were running at 4 o'clock on Monday, doing striders and doing things and lifting to try to get the soreness out. But I think after the way they feel on a short week, I think they trust us.
Mike, the Titans, don't get me wrong, it's not like they're world beaters, but they just grind on you, man. And that's what they did tonight again.
LaFleur warned his players about that in the team meetings. He mentioned it in his press conferences that there's just something about the way the Titans played, kind of like the old Pittsburgh Steelers have played in years past. There's just something about them, about every opportunity they take, they hit you a little harder than anybody else. And the Titans quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, said, yeah, that's what we do.
That's the way we wanted to play. We wanted to come in, be physical, establish the run. They did a good job. They didn't give up the big run. They made us kind of earn it and keep just plugging away. We're getting 4, getting 5, getting 3, getting 6. But we stayed with it. And when we had opportunities to hit them down the field, we did. We were able to sustain drives, keeping ourselves in third and manageable, and converted a lot of those. So, that's exactly the way we wanted to play, and we came out and did that.
Mike, I know this team's disappointed. I mean, I'm disappointed. Fans are disappointed. Hell yeah. But, this was just after such a high coming out of that Cowboys game. How could you come out and play this poorly on Thursday night? You know what I mean?
It's Bill, by halfway through the first quarter, it was already kind of feeling like the big brother holding off the little brother by just holding his head,
Yeah.
And the little brother's swinging and kicking and fighting all the kid, and all the big brother has to do is just hold the guy's head. And the fact that you saw the Titans come out and drive down the field in their opening drive and just seem to be more fundamentally sound, even with all the backups they had, 5 or 6 backups on their defense tonight,
right.
And the Packers unable to get into a groove, and then they're running trick plays like Tannehill running up and down the line like he's got a crisis,
Yeah.
and it ends up being a direct snap to Derrick Henry for a first down. Plays like that, and Derrick Henry with a touchdown pass.
Mike, what really I thought was the epitome of tonight was the defense on the field the entire time of the second quarter, 10, 12 plays, 10, 15 minutes, I should say. They finally get the stop, and they run A.J. Dillon, not even your best running back. They run A.J. Dillon out there into the line twice, and then a quick 3 and out that took a total of 1:15. I thought that was it. I thought that's pretty much done. I give them credit. They came back, but I thought that was the epitome of the night right there.
The other thing is, in terms of the defense, we talked about losing Rashawn Gary the week before last, and then, Preston Smith maybe was not 100%, but they're lacking outside linebackers to pressure the quarterback, and that's hurting them on third downs. And, they have not come up with anything creative like a corner blitz or anything like that to counter that, to sack quarterbacks. They're going to have to, if they think that, they might as well roll the dice now for the games that they've got left in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Mike, real quick, Matt LaFleur numerous times in his press conference said, I don't know. He was asked questions. He went, I don't know. Does he seem like a guy that's at the end of his rope?
I think he's more concerned about losing the locker room than tipping his hand. I think he knows he's trying to figure out ways to say this without losing the locker room. I think that's what it is.
Mike, yeah, I understand it, but at this point, it's like, dude, if you don't know, then who the hell knows? You're the guy that's getting paid money to figure these things out. So I get it. Great stuff. We got a lot to talk about tomorrow on the program as well, but to get home safe, pal, okay?
Yeah, good to visit with Leroy Butler. He says hello, by the way.
Oh, it was good. Did you see the picture?
Oh, yeah. It was outstanding.
Larry took a great picture of you and Leroy, man. What a beautiful picture at Lambeau Field. I reposted it, too, so... Man, what a great tribute to both of you guys. Good stuff, Michael. Talk to you soon, pal.
Talk to you tomorrow, pal.
That is the great Mike Clemens. That's it. We're going to do this again tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central Time. And we'll try to figure it all out. One more time before a crowd at Lambeau Field of 77,506 on hand to see it. The Tennessee Titans jabbed the dagger in the Green Bay Packers. It was Tennessee 27, Green Bay 17. Thanks to everybody over in the Bud Light live stream for watching, reacting, chiming in. Thanks to all of you for listening all throughout parts unknown in the great state of Wisconsin and Packers Nation. Time for us